Alright, we're going to be using this Douglas thermostat for the fans. It's will more than handle the wattage and the power output. Now I'm going to set it right around 100. Now it's two-stage, which means it will kick on at 100 degrees and then turn back off when it reaches 85 degrees or 15-degree differential. Now on the back, you got a ground. The black is hot coming in and red is hot going out. So what you do is you bring your wires in, take both of your grounds coming in and going out, tie it into here, take your white common coming in and going out and just tie those together, and then take your black coming in tied to the black of this, and the black going out tied to the red of this. Pretty simple. But realistically, I'm supposed to have these, you're supposed to install these about 3 foot from any exterior wall. Unfortunately, that won't be possible in my greenhouse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install it about 1 foot or so below the ceiling and go from there. I'm going to put it in the shade as much as I can so that it reaches temperature and not sun heat. But we'll give it a shot. Alright, now this is a Braun thermostat. It's a very simple one. It's just on off. There is no two different set points. This is what I'm going to be hooking my heating outlet to. Now, the heating outlet will be used for 2 different things, okay? We'll just set this down. It's pretty much hot in, hot out is all you are hooking up to this. Now my heating will be, when it's not that cold, just radiant heating, electric radiant heating. But when it's colder, I'm going to hook that up to the blower to my log burner. Alright, we've been having temporary wiring all over the place. Got an octopus up there running most of the stuff. But I got everything wired to the panel. Now most of the wiring is straightforward. That's why I haven't really shown you much of it. But I mean, here's a basic plug diagram. And basically all the plugs are daisy chained together, just like they are in your house. On the other side over here, where I'm going to have mostly aquaponics, I got double plugs going down the side. We got 2 exhaust fans, one there and one down there. Now what I've done is I'm leaving the plugs on, so because I consider them replaceable. This way their next fan's plug and play. Then that plug goes to this plug, and then right below there is my attic fan thermostat, which I have set at 100 degrees. Now all my wiring comes down to my box. The box is 220, and I may be putting in an electric heater, so that's what those last 2 slots are for. I'd rather go 220 than 110, that's for sure. Now most of it is going to be pretty straightforward. I got 2 circuits there, 2 breakers for plugs, one for each side. I got one empty 20 amp breaker there on the left hand side, and then up the right side is socket. I got the circulation fans, the exhaust fans, and the top one is lights. Well, let's see if everything's hooked up, and we'll go from there. All right, let's try this out. Lights. Here we go. All lit up. Fans. Circulation fans. Exhaust fans. Well, they're not going to cut on yet because of the thermostat. Receptacles on that wall. Now the ones on this wall, I'm not done with yet, so they're going to stay off. But they're wired. Excellent, now I can cover this panel up. Alright, I just wanted to give you an update. As you see, we put plants in, even though we're not done with everything yet. But everything is on its own watering system. I'll show you that in just a second. Alright, my rain gutter systems, which is how I water my 5-gallon pots. Now what I do with my pots is I fill them up, and as they settle, I add more fresh soil to them. Seems to be a good way to keep the nutrient levels up. But to keep them watered, as you see, the water level is right up to the fill. And the fill is controlled by just a little tote on the side with a float ball in it. I have not had to water any of these plants for days since I installed the float level. Everything stays nice and moist. Not wet saturated, but just moist. The plants seem to like it, and they are responding. Most of these are dwarfs and some peppers. Now over on the other side over there, we have some oddballs. I have some coleus planted in there and some rose bushes that I'm trying to grow up. But everything's doing fine. On this side, we'll start down here. We have just oddball assortment of stuff that I'm either trying to root or just planting. From blue bananas to hibiscus to Cuban oregano and so on. Most of these, though, on this side are micro tomatoes. There's my pineapple that I started from the top. Now all of these are watered by drippers, so that I don't have to worry about them. Now the drippers, I have a constant feed line that goes along. And then teed off of the feed line is a hose with an adjustable dripper on it. Now with the adjustable dripper, I can control the amount. There you go, there's a drip. And it is enough to keep these plants going all day long. Well, I will keep you updated. But so far, these have only been in here for a little over a week. And they are doing great. Last week we were having 100-degree temperatures. And with my exhaust fans tied to a thermostat and my circulation fans, the temperature in here was great. It was as cool, if not cooler, than the outside, which was fantastic. But I will keep you updated. Next we'll be doing the hooking the barrels together for the thermal batteries and aquaponics systems. Now last week we had a heat wave, 100-degree temperatures. And right now I'm doing this in the late afternoon when it finally goes into shade, just so you can see things better. But the shade cloth I got off of Amazon. I cannot remember the name of it right now. Something Tech is all I remember. But it was $150, and I think it was well spent, because my plants inside did great through the heat wave. Now on the rest of the outside, the only thing I got left really to do is solid indoors, and I'm going to do wrap around raised beds. That way I'll give it a pit effect without having to go through all the permit process of sinking it into the ground.